So, after 40-something years as a sound tech and never actually catching on to how it's done, I've decided to embark on a new career as a lighting technician, and the only way I would possibly have a chance to do that is to seek absolute experienced counsel, and that would be in the form of Brad Emch. Thanks for teaching me, Brad. So what I've asked Brad to do is I'm going to be doing my first lighting gig ever on Saturday. I'm a little nervous about that, but it'll be a solo, my first solo, and Brad has been kind enough to set everything up here so I can play with it in the shop, but that's really not the big deal. Any tech knows that walking up and doing this is really the easy part if someone sets it up for you. So I'm going to query Brad a little bit about how the signal flow goes for a small venue lighting system such as this that a beginner such as I might use.
Each tower has its own power. I start at the bottom. I have a Y cable or a twofer, which powers the bottom light, which then goes up, and each light, power comes off of this light, and then each light jumps off of that light into each other.
And the name of that connector is?
That's a power con.
Power con, right.
So each one is daisy chained together. So it's all fed together in one continuous chain.
Does that include that beam on the top?
Even the beam on top is, it's the end of the chain for power.
So how many lights are on that one circuit?
I've got 5 lights on that one circuit.
I get it. Okay. Power con. Pretty easy. So you start at the bottom?
So start at the bottom and work my way up.
And at the end you'll eventually end up with the last cable
going
into the last
top light, yes.
I think I can follow that. And this tower is bolted to one of those heavier than you can believe base plates.
You can climb up the tower and be safe.
So we don't even need to look at the other side because
the other side is a mirror image.
Of this. So let's go right to this little baby. And how does this connect to everything?
This here is the lighting console. We're running each tower off of a DMX. This console has 2 DMX patches on it. So I'm running one to one tower, one to the other. That way I don't need an opto splitter.
I see 5 connectors though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
I can
connectors.
run another whole other universe on here if I need to. And then if I want to go even more, I can go with an Ethernet to 8 universes. But it's another unit you have to attach to it.
And that's
then the last one, of course, is for a lamp.
Right. So in this particular situation, we just need those. Is this like stereo with sound in any way at all?
No, not at all. No. Well, other than this is the input or output to your lights.
That's the output?
That's the output from the console to the lights.
And what's the other connector?
The same thing. I'm just using a 5-pin. So instead of using an opto where I'd go into a box where it has a whole bunch of jumpers, like a splitter on a sound snake.
Yes.
Here I'm using the 2 ports they have, one to each tower.
That makes total sense to me. One to one side, one to the other.
Yeah.
And this is the power cable.
That's a power cable as well. And of course it's all run off of an iPad, so you can be wireless if you need to. You got a wireless system. They talk to each other via Wi-Fi.
That's great if you want to walk around.
Yeah, for focusing,
And we're looking at the LightShark LS1 console.
Yes. And now that we've got it here, we want to create a new show.
And we're going to stop right there. Join us soon for part 2 of this series, and it will be creating a show.